Hello, welcome to the Bird Tales episode 32. Today is Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. It is also day 5 of our countdown to the end of Minnesota's bird season. Remdar and I just finished getting our butts kicked out on this WMA. And I'll tell you all about it, but first I have to tell you about how the rest of my week went. So Friday I went out to a piece of state land that I have never hunted before, never been on. That's kind of the theme this week, was going to places that I'd never hunted before. So I'm quite pumped right now. There's a piece of public property that I've been wanting to get onto for a few years now, but it's entirely landlocked. And I know the DNR has done some timber harvest back here, and I assumed for years now that there are good grouse numbers back here. Today I had a wild hare and decided to stop in at this gentleman's place, and he said, yeah, sure, go for it. Not only that, it's about a half a mile on this road he's got here to get back to the state forest. And he said, I don't want anybody hunting on the front piece because he likes to have the grouse up in his yard, which I can understand. But he said, once you walk past the first pond, which I'm looking at right now, you can hunt any of the rest of my land. And I think he's got about 100 acres out here. So I've got a pretty good chunk of private and public land that's not easy to access sitting in front of me. He also said there's quite a few grouse out here. So we'll see if that holds up to what I think is quite a few grouse, but I'm pretty excited about it. So that's a bad sign. First grouse we saw today, sitting right there beside that tree. I could see it. I hate when I can see grouse.
I can see the grouse sitting up against the tree.
I hate it because my heart just starts racing so hard, and I'm just sitting there watching it, trying to get closer and closer.
I missed it.
And we just plain missed it. But we'll find another one.
Sitting up in a tree. This is just getting ridiculous. That was a wide open shot if it wasn't for that tree.
So on Saturday, I met up with Sir William, and the two of us went on a ruff and rooster hunt. I got Sir William with me this morning, and we are on a WMA, gonna try to find a grouse and maybe a rooster. This may be a mistake, it's hard to say. I'm still feeling beat up after yesterday, and I don't know, that's it.
There's only 2 days left. I only had one shell in my gun. Cooper, come. I only had one shell in my gun. Cooper, come. What are you doing, dogs?
Dogs, you're pointers.
Both the dogs were just totally
right there. I didn't know what to do. I only had one shell in my gun.
the grouse. It's just a curse. I can't break the curse.
We suck at hunting together.
Oh my God! Bush right at us.
It was right there. It was 15 yards. Will.
Got it. Yep. Thank you. Hey.
Well, I feel a lot better about grouse after yesterday's mess up. Remnar just went to point it right here, and he was actually pointing this direction into these bushes up here. And as I walked up, the bird flushed from over here behind him, and my safety got stuck. So I don't know if you could see it in the video, if it all happened too fast, but I had to do one of these like, and I got my safety off and pulled the trigger. I need to get some lubricant on that, but I think it helped because I had to wait a second to shoot instead of just, so, hey, we got a bird.
Hey, we got a bird.
We got a bird.
Merry Christmas.
Say it again.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
We like this.
I think this is the same one we were chasing.
Oh, I'm sure.
Let me do the tail on it. You want to hold my gun quick?
Yeah, of course.
Let's see.
So that's what they do on the internet there.
This is the thing that all the cool kids are doing these days.
Yeah. Good. So now can we quit and hunt pheasants, or how does this work?
Holy moly, that sucker was winging! Good boy! William! Whew. I'll pop in. Will. He's on point 52 yards. 52 feet, sorry. We're just grouse hunters. Man, how do you go from like, that one rooster was like 30 yards, 40 yards, zinging, just one shot, to that. Dogs on point and everything. Holy cow! He ain't going nowhere. I gotta find this one. No, he doesn't. Come on, Rem. Come here. Come on, Rem. Oh, he's down. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy, good boy, good boy. Let go. Boy, he's coming like right at me, kinda. Yeah, I think that one was yours. Good boy, Rem.
Sunday was kind of a weird day. I went out with Daisy and Remnar. Daisy first, then Remnar. Hello, hello. I'm out on a WMA right now with Daisy. And we're just wrapping up. We're about back to the car. We did a fair bit of hunting. And I think we kicked up 8 or 9 hens. We kicked up a couple other birds that I couldn't tell what they were. They got up a long ways away. But I got Remnar in the car. We're gonna go hunt the other corner of this WMA. And then I'm gonna head home.
Ready? Come. A ruff just flushed right there. Whoa. I don't know if I hit it or not. Easier, come. Look what I did to this tree. I doubt I hit it. There's 2 ruffed grouse running down this row. Remy! In there, find a bird. See if you can find him. I blasted that tree. But there were 2 ruffs who was running. I was running beside them. They might not have went very far. I can't believe I hit that bird. Look at that! Beauty! Drop him. Thank you. Look at that! Funky.
Well, that was pretty awesome. There's a shelter belt right here in front of us. And just as soon as we started walking, a bird flushed. And I seen it was a ruffed grouse right away. So we started hustling our way down the shelter belt, and there's 2 of them running right beside me. And so I'm scurrying beside one, side by side with it as it's running through the shelter belt, waiting for it to flush. Finally it flushed, I blasted into some trees, didn't hit it, and as we're going down, I can hear birds running in front of us. And there were some hens that got up way up in front of us, and right here, Remnar went on point for a few seconds, and then he just jumped into the bushes, and I don't know if I can blame him for that or not. He didn't hold the point, but the birds were all running through here. And he jumped into the bushes, and this rooster got up, and I made a pretty lucky shot as he climbed up over these pine trees here and dropped him into there. But I'm hoping that those ruffed grouse are sitting in these pines still, and we can maybe make it a ruffs and rooster kind of day. So then yesterday was Monday, Christmas Eve, and I had an errand to run, and so it took me out of the supposed pheasant range, at least what I thought was going to be the pheasant range, and more into the forest. Good morning. It's Christmas Eve day, and Remnar and I were attempting to go out on a quick pheasant hunt this morning, but as I was leaving my house, my mother called me and said, "Hey, your grandpa is having trouble with his air fryer." I don't know. "Can you please run over there and help him out?" Sure. Originally, Remnar and I were heading west out to a cattail slough to try and shoot some roosters, but Grandpa lives quite a ways east into grouse territory. And so we're going to try and shoot a grouse this morning. But we are on a WMA that I've hunted one time in the past, last year, and did not see a single bird. But it's the only thing that's really close to where Grandpa lives. And so we're going to give it a try. It's a big WMA, and there's a couple different parking lots. I intended to go here and then go north. But there's a guy parked right here, and his tracks are going north. There's also a guy in the other parking lot going south. So both the spots that I was thinking about starting at have somebody there. But I'm going to take the weird spot across the road here. And there's a cornfield right here, and it's kind of a woody edge. So there's a decent chance that there might be a pheasant in there and maybe a grouse. But we'll make a big loop around, and hopefully we don't run into that other guy somewhere in the woods. But that's the plan, and I'm just hoping we find some birds. Well, that was amazingly quick. Here's the rooster. The road is probably 100 yards that way. I don't know if you can see it or not, but right off of the road, there's a whole bunch of pheasant tracks, and we made it 100 yards in and shot a rooster. So it's already a success. All right, we'll keep going and maybe we'll find some more. And now here we are today on this WMA that I've never hunted before, never set foot on. I've driven past it 100 times, and I just thought, you know, this looks like a spot where you'd find birds. There's a cornfield right here across the road. There's a great big body of water with cattails and brush all over. Surely there's some birds out there. And there was. So we started right here at the car. We walked down, and just on the other side of that pine, Remnar went on point. And I caught some movement out of the corner of my eye. And so I figured, looking at that woods up there, I figured it's going to be a ruffed grouse. So we worked our way up there, and a hen pheasant flushed. And it seemed like 30 seconds later, but it was probably only 5 seconds later, a pair of roosters flushed.
Oh, I hit him too. God dang it.
And I shot at the one, and he sailed out of sight over the top of the willows, out into the cattails, and we looked all over for him, but we never did find him. As we were on our way out there, though, a ruffed grouse flushed right across me, right in the open, and I shot, and in my head, I was like, I absolutely hit that bird. I don't know, I have to watch the video back, but I think I was even putting my gun down, and I must have shot right in front of its face, because it did something in the air, and then it took off out of there, and we didn't find it. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. There's only 7 days left of Minnesota's bird season. So we got a long run ahead of us, but we're going to try to do our best. But that is the end of my week. So I appreciate you watching. Stay tuned for next week, the last Minnesota episode of the season, and I'll see you later.